Aloha, everybody. Welcome to the Coconut Wireless. It is Friday. I know Friday is probably the worst night of the week to do a podcast, but let's. Yeah, well, it's Friday, and Uncle Charlie is MIA. I'm not sure where he is. He should be on. I'm hoping he was going to jump on tonight. I know his guy's been really busy at the airport. I was talking to him the other day, and there are a lot of guys out ill and shortage of workers, kind of like what everybody's experiencing right now. So, yeah, we hope he joins us. But if not, guys, it'll be. Oops, look, I got the wrong. It'll be just me, and tonight we're gonna talk about what you guys want to talk about, whatever you guys want. Just pop them in the comments and we'll talk. I did have a couple of things that I wanted to talk about because hey, Patsy's here, Chris is here. Oh yeah, Chief of War, Chris Wong, Chief of War, man. My wife and I went to the premiere over here, and most of the cast, in fact, all of the cast was there except for Jason. But uh, we got to meet some of them. Kaina Makua, which is the Kawaii dude that is starring as Kamehameha. An amazing project, and I think it's going to do really well for the state, but more so for Kauai. Kaina is an amazing gentleman. He dedicated his life really to the culture, to the kids, and I respect that guy so much. And his story is funny because he is by accident. He's not an actor, and he was just Jason Momoa told him, "Hey, I want you to be Kamehameha," and he did it. He agreed, and it's a hit. It's they wrapped up their final episode, and we're hoping for a second season. But yeah, if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It is awesome. Yeah, Kaina is legit and a great person, and I wish him all the best. And I know acting takes a lot of time away from his work here on Kauai, but nonetheless, we wish the best for him and Chief of War and that entire cast. Awesome people. It's just a fun group of people that were on that stage at the premiere sharing their stories. And yeah, it was awesome. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. Aloha Kehau. The villagers are here, slowly crawling in. Again, I'm not sure where Uncle Charlie's at. He's MIA right now, probably at the airport, keeping us safe. Poor guy. Poor guy. But hey, I wanted to talk about an article that was written, an op-ed that was written last week by former senator, former council member Gary Hoosier. And every so often, he'll drop a letter to the editor, trying to spark discussion, which is not a bad thing, I guess. But his article or his op-ed was about the county council, Kauai County Council violating the law. And technically, he's correct because the charter requires for the county of Kauai to hire an auditor. And that was years ago when, by the way, I have the record in the history of Kauai for proposed audits, for performance audits in different departments here in the county. And I will tell you, in my early days on the council, I could not get the support to approve an audit. It was crazy. It's a different now. We are, in fact, right now, I believe we have 5 performance audits being conducted right now in various departments, including HR and Public Works. And the way the audit process works is we contract an external auditor, usually from Oahu, and they do the performance audits completely independent of the county, and it works. The reason we don't have an auditor on Kauai is not because we haven't tried. For as long as I've been on the council, we have posted that job and we have done many interviews. The problem is, I think, for the most part, is the pay is not not high enough because of the cost of living. I mean, it's just too expensive. We got really close once. We had a wahine from Washington State. She was an auditor. She was awesome. We saw her work, did a couple of interviews, made the job offer. She took it. We were excited. And then she pulled back because her husband had received another job offer up in Washington. So she ultimately declined the position. We got people from all over the world, um, many of which weren't qualified. And yeah, it's not because we haven't tried, and we continue to try. And if any of you know, including you, Mr. Hoosier, of a candidate that can fill that position, send them my way, and we'll make sure we interview them. And that's a tough position. That's a position that you got to get the right skill set, the right attitude, and it's hard to find now. And again, with the pay being as low as it is, these CPAs and these certified legislative auditors are very hard to find, and they all want to come here. Usually, it's a retired person that wants to move to Hawaii and get their pension and collect the salaries from the county. But again, in that position, you need someone that's obviously qualified and competent, and is coming for the right reason. So yeah, I saw the post on what's happening on Kauai. Somebody shared it with me. And of course, what's happening on Kauai. I refuse to post on that page. I don't. I follow it, absolutely follow it, because I get a lot of my information and my news there. But I don't like the tone of that page, and I am almost always criticized on that page, which is fine. I can handle it. But it's when you print half a story, or you take one sentence or one statement, and then you take it out of context, and so I'm not going to participate in that and engage with that. But if any of you have any questions, you want to have that face to face, including no one even knows who that author of what's happening on Kauai is. I don't know, but I welcome them to come on this show, and we can have the discussion, and I'll answer all the questions that they have. But I'm not going to do it on an anonymous contributor on a page that is being run by someone that's not even known. That's just my style, and but the door is open for the author, the creator, whoever that owns that page, to come on this show live, and we can have a lively discussion. I'm more than open for that. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with the auditor position. I hope that clarifies some things. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. The other thing I wanted to talk about, was the Adolescent Drug Treatment Center up in Kapaya, up by Wailua Falls, up on Ma'alu Road. There is still a misconception in the community that that place is empty and it's not operating, and that is not true. In fact, we have currently, the DOE has 2 classrooms up there. They're operating their ALPS program, what used to be the Alternative Learning Program. They changed the name, and they're up there now. They're operating, and that expanding the curriculum to include our cultural practices. The lo'i, they are already planning out the plan where they're going to create the lo'i, the medicinal plants garden. We have the Humane Society up there with their therapy dogs. It's going to be an awesome program for the kids. The kids, like I said, are already there, and we should have all of the amenities, I guess I'll call it, up and running, hopefully within the next 6 months. But the classes are operating, the kids are there, and there's a huge step in the right direction. We also have the YMCA of Honolulu doing the outpatient and intensive outpatient treatment. They've been doing that now for over a year. They're up there full time. They're treating our kids. Very successful, very, very successful, and that is working out very well, especially with the relationship with the DOE. So that program is going well. What is not operating is the residential treatment center, but I can tell you that we are in active negotiations. Actually, the negotiations have completed. We do have a provider for the residential treatment. We are bound by an NDA, so I'm not at liberty to talk about the provider, but I will say that we are having an open house presentation for the potential funders, and the company will be here in November, and the objective is to share the services that we are going to be offering to our keiki here on Kauai, and hopefully one of those billionaires that live on the island, who will have representatives at the presentation, will agree to fund completely or partially the operation. It's not a cheap operation, but then again, what's the price tag you put on a kid's life? I mean, that we haven't had services forever. We are losing kids and to addiction and mental health, and we need to get the doors open. And I hope to bring good news after the presentation and hopefully get some commitments for funding. We're also speaking with our federal, state, and local elected officials as well, because we need that facility open. Again, the DOE is there, outpatient is there, intensive outpatient is there, and once we get the residential in place, it'll be fully operational. So I'm excited, cautiously optimistic, I guess is the word they use, and we will go ahead and keep you guys informed on that. And once that's open, we're going to have a huge community celebration at the site. We're going to celebrate it because, I've been working with that project now for over 20 years. And in 2002, when I first got elected to the county council, former mayor Brian Baptiste was elected for his first term as a mayor. He asked me to sit on his anti-drug coalition, which of course I agreed. And we worked very hard to try to get some resources here for adolescent drug treatment. And that was always his dream, to build a facility, a healing facility. And, 20 years later, the facility is there, 23 years later, and still not providing the residential treatment. So I am currently the president of the Ka'ulu Ikapono Academy is the name of the facility. It's a nonprofit. And we are been working very hard. And I can tell you that there was nothing going on. In fact, I think most of you know the story that the county had plans to use that facility for other purposes, not residential drug treatment. And there was a little legal battle and between the landowner and the county, and the land and the facility reverted back to Grow Farm. Grow Farm then signed a very long-term lease with our nonprofit, which started just 2 years ago, not even 2 years ago. Next month we'll make 2 years. And in that short period of time, KIPA, which is Ka'ulu Ikapono, KIPA has already put in the DOE, the outpatient treatment. And what I think will happen is the residential will be operating hopefully by the beginning of the year, beginning of next year. And all of that done in less than 2 years, where the county had it for decades, and or the idea for decades, and could never make it happen. So I'm proud of what Ka'ulu Ikapono has done. And I will tell you, I take absolutely no credit for that. While I sit as a president of the board, it's the entire team of that board. It's the entire team of community members that have not given up. They've never given up. That dream has always been there. And we just have the right team together now, along with the community members, and hopefully our potential partners here that have the funds available to help our youth will step up in November when we have this presentation, and hopefully we'll get those doors open next year. So yes, I am a little excited about it, and I just hope and pray, and for all of you, please, please, please pray that these things work out. Our kids deserve it, our families deserve it, and it's a wonderful facility. It's a beautiful location. Right up there on Mahalo Road. I think many of you pass to go up to the falls. It's right there. You can't miss it. It's a large facility, complete with a kitchen that is restaurant grade, that our kids will be able to utilize for training, whether it's hospitality training, restaurant training. It's going to be a fabulous operation, which the state Department of Health, the division that does the alcohol addiction and drug addiction, they want this to be the model for the rest of the state. We've had numerous meetings with them. And so while I think that the perception is that nothing is happening, that's far from the truth. This has been an ongoing effort for years now. And, I'm proud to be a part of it. But I won't be happy until we complete the mission of opening those residential treatment doors. And I have full confidence that we'll be able to do that. If we cannot get the billionaire support, then we're going to run car washes, GoFundMe's, spaghetti sales, chili rice, whatever, whatever we got to do. That is my commitment to the youth, that we're gonna get that place open, one way or another. So you guys will be hearing more when as we move forward. But I just wanted the community to understand that right now, as I sit here tonight, it is functioning. It is open. It's open every day. The DOE is there. Our kids are up there, and our kids are being treated by the YMCA of Honolulu. We got a great substance abuse counselor up there. His name is Milo. He does a great job, and the numbers don't lie. He's treated a lot of kids, and some of which you'll hear on this show in the near future. So I'm excited about that. So what else you guys want to talk about? A lot of stuff going on in the world. One thing Charlie and the rule of this show is we don't talk national politics, because it's a divisive issue. I don't want the coconut wireless to become a place where opposite sides of our country just get angry and start posting comments and irritating each other. So that is a taboo item. But I will say this, because of what has occurred over the last few weeks, the hatred got to stop. I mean, the hatred. I don't really care if you're a Democrat or Republican. I don't care. When I first got elected back in 2002, and we go to DC every year, and I'm old enough that in my early years on the council, I got to actually meet and work with Senator Inouye, Senator Akaka, and those days the bipartisanship at Congress was real, and these guys worked together, and that's no longer the case. And I only wish that we could revert to those days where both sides of the aisle can work for issues and solutions that are in the best interest of the general public. It's no fun watching it anymore. It's horrific, really. And what these people are saying, and inciting people in the community to post all these negative comments, that has to stop, man. I mean, and I see a lot of Hawaii people jumping in on the discussions, and I believe in the freedom of speech, but I also believe that we're different here in Hawaii. We're different, and we born and raised with the aloha spirit, and the aloha spirit, man, you don't do those things. So we can be the example. We can still have healthy debate. We do it all the time, and treat it as such. And the fact that I disagree with you doesn't mean that I don't like you. There's a lot of people that I disagree with as far as policy, as far as procedures, but we can do it in a way that's civil, and that when the debate is over, we can shake hands and be friends. And I'm not sure how we make that happen anymore, because the country is so divided, and again, people point fingers at one person on one side or the other. It's a collective issue. It's not one person, and we can ignore those that are inciting. We don't have to play into their trap. We don't have to play into their argument and their hate. Just type in aloha, man. Just you see that ugly thread, just say aloha. We love you, man, because that's really what it is. It's really, and that's what we need to do as people from Hawaii. We should be leading that charge. We should be setting the example. We should be telling each other aloha and loving up on each other, even if we disagree. So that's all I'm going to say about that, because it is such a hot emotional issue. I don't want this platform to be used for that. I want everyone to come here to enjoy, to relax, have fun. I mean, with Charlie's not here, it's difficult because his laugh is contagious. He says some silly things that make all of us laugh, and yeah, it's I miss him. I don't know where he's at. He's probably working, but with his Snickers and all of that, Snicker bars. So yeah, what do you guys want to talk about, man? Let me know in the comments, guys. I don't see too many people on tonight, but that's fine. We can talk story. What's on your mind? Let me know. We'll talk about it. We'll have a nice discussion. Yeah, I've been busy with the campaign, as you all know. I am running for mayor, and it's busy. It's really, really busy. And I got to say thank you to all of the villagers, all of the people that tune in every week. And by the way, I apologize. Last week I was in Kona and was not able to do the show. And So I apologize for that. Uh, Obviously, the schedules get complicated now, especially now. A lot of events that we got to go to. So Charlie and I are working on a schedule, and we may have to pre-record our show just to make sure we get the show on live on stream every week. So we are working on that to pick a time where we can actually do the show, or we could even do it live earlier during the day, and obviously replay it at night. But we are working on that because I think it's important to keep this village together, just because we all appreciate and love each other so much. So yeah, the campaign, we're kicking it off. We've had a couple of meetings. We setting up our committees, setting up our first fundraiser. First fundraiser more than likely will be November 22nd. It'll be a $10 chili and rice. Um, just to get the people in and talk story, get me in front of people. And I think this race is going to be an interesting one with my opponent, my good buddy Bernard Cavallo. We're best of friends, and it's going to be interesting. We share a lot of supporters, so it's going to see. We're putting a lot of people in an uncomfortable position, but at the end of the day, people will decide really what leadership style, what who they want to serve them as the mayor. And I hope it's me. I hope it's me. I've been doing this a long time. It'll be 18 years, but when this term is over on the council, as being the chair of the council for many of those years. And I just feel that this is my time. I feel that I, as a council chair, we're very limited. We're legislative while we control the purse strings. We don't control the execution of the government functions. And in fact, the charter prohibits us from directing the administration from doing stuff. I cannot tell the mayor, I cannot tell the public works planning director or any of the department heads what to do. We can recommend, suggest, highly recommend, but yeah, it is frustrating when there's so much that I would like to do, and I think the only way I can make those or get those solutions at least started is in the office of the mayor. So it was a long discussion my wife and I had, and we believe that's the best thing for Kauai. I'm not terming out as a council. I still have 2 more terms. So for me, the easiest thing to do would be just to stay on a council. Wouldn't likely get reelected. Probably be the chair again and continue what we're doing. But I feel like it is my time now to step up and do what I need to do to make some positive change. And gosh, we need some positive change. We really do. So, as always, if you guys are interested in joining the campaign, please let me know. You'll be seeing more social media presence probably within the next 30 days. Our website is almost done. Once the website is done, we'll post it up, and we'll hopefully get a lot of you on board and join the team. It's a fun team, but it's a very serious team that we know we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of people to talk to, and um, I love being in front of people, but I hate asking people for stuff. I hate asking people to help, but I know I got to, and this is a great forum to ask all of you, the villagers, to if you support what I believe and what I think I can do, please join the team. Again, our fundraiser November 22nd. We'll still trying to lock down a location. It's so hard to get a location anymore. But once we get that done, obviously you guys will know, and we'll have some tickets available. It'll be only $10. It'll be chili rice, good food, entertainment. Hopefully Uncle Charlie and his group will be there to play music to open it up, and then we have some entertainment for after. It's a couple hours. Just get to know me better, and so I can share my vision. It's very simple, folks. We gotta. The attitude has to be to take care of our local residents. Our attitude has to be to take care of our future generations. The mayor cannot look at his term as a 4-year term. We have to look 25, 30 years down the road. Decisions we make that's going to impact our future generations. So that's the mindset I'm in right now. We got a lot of work to do. Critical infrastructural needs that we got to address. We got housing issues. We got homelessness issues. I mean, we have road issues. There's just a myriad of things, and I believe I have what it takes to get us back on track, and I'm hoping you guys agree. Um, I am looking for volunteers to host meet and greets. Just get me in front of your circles. I think that is what's going to be grassroots. I mean, I will not be able to go out and go to Honolulu and raise 150, 200 grand. I just don't have that connection. So we are going to rely heavily on the grassroots effort. We are going to rely heavily on getting in communities, doing the little coffee hours and the meet and greets, relying on our supporters and friends that can get me in front of their circles. And I think once people get to know who I am and hear my vision, I think it'll be an easy decision for them who to support. So if any of you are interested in doing one of those, let me know. We'll cover the food and drinks. We'll take care of all of that. We just need you to get the invites out, get me in front of them, and then I'll do the rest. Um, and of course, if you guys want to donate, I'll put this up on my page later. But I don't know if you're watching this on your phone and it's hard. If you're watching this on your computer, that's the QR code. That's our logo. We got a new logo this year. I love it. Um, and most importantly, Patsy enjoyed it. She likes it. The committee voted, so this will be the logo. You guys are the first to see this. You guys were the first to hear my announcement. You guys are the first to see it. And so that's the QR code if you want to donate. No donation is too small, folks. Again, I hate asking, but I know that we are going to need funds to get the word out, and these funds will be used really for stickers and signs and postcards, and that's pretty much it. And then as we get closer to the election, we'll be using the funds for advertising. But right now, my priority is getting in front of people, asking your questions, hearing the concerns. As a council member for so long and as the council chair, I hear it all of the issues. And many people think the big issues, the housing issues, yeah, that's issues that are all been around for a while and needs to be addressed. But the little issues, the little pothole on your road, or the light that's not working, or the issue on your street that needs to be resolved, that we hear all of that. So and that's kind of where I want to start. Tony, yes, let's do a meet and greet with Kauai Border Realtors. I believe we do have a Pauhana next week, or yeah, I believe it's next week. But absolutely, I will go anywhere, anytime, and sit down with people, because I think it's critical that the people get to know their candidates. And so yes, Tony, let us do that. I'd be more than happy to work with you and getting a time scheduled. And anyone, I do it in garages, neighborhood centers, pavilions. It doesn't matter. And I can do it anywhere. Oh, okay. Patsy will bake. That'll be worth it just in and of itself. Just coming over to eat Patsy's desserts. That'll be worth it. I mean, dang, you better make a lot, Patsy, because I think Patsy's baking is the best. And we'll make sure we have we used to do coffee hours. Make a lot of coffee, and nobody drank coffee. So we have water if you guys want coffee, whatever. Like I said, we will provide all the stuff. You just need to provide the people and the venue, and we'll make it happen. But yeah, I think as we move forward, we really gotta. I do have some ideas, and there'll be a time where I'll share it. I don't want to do it tonight because I want to really hear from you all. Aloha, Susan. I kind of wanted to have you guys driving the discussion, but because I have an opportunity, I will talk about the campaign. But yeah, I mean, I think there's some things that we can do immediately this is where, again, this is coming from the complaints that I get, or the concerns that I get from the constituents as the council chair. I think one of the issues that I hear about a lot is the lack of responsiveness from the county, whether it's the Parks Department, Planning, Public Works, getting calls back, getting messages returned. And I think that is something that can be fixed relatively easily. I do have a plan for that, and I think that plan is a great one. I do, and I think it'll work. And it really is being accountable. When I first ran, my slogan was efficiency, accountability, and responsibility. And those are still very important to me today. But we are focusing on the knowledge and experience, and of course, compassion. Because I do have compassion. A lot of people. I'm like the most misunderstood council member on the council because, I take my job seriously. I am very outspoken at times, and if you only watch the council meetings, never got to meet me personally, then you haven't met the real male proposer, right? The compassionate one. I take my job seriously. I believe that everyone should be accountable for their actions and their jobs, and I hold people accountable. And obviously that doesn't go well all the time, but the only motivation I have is to make this place a better place. That's it. There's no other agenda here. I don't own businesses. I don't own land. I don't own this house. I even don't own this house. The bank does. But my concern is, being able to keep our kids here, our families here, and that is where the focus has to be. That's where the priority has to be. Not the special interests, not developers, but our local families. What are we going to do to make sure that our families can remain on Kauai? And it's not an easy task because you don't control the cost of living. There's so many things out of the council's control. But for whatever we can do, we need to focus on that. And that is really the premise of my campaign is keeping our families together and keeping our families home. So it's a very large task, but one that I take very seriously. So hang on. Crystal Light Sweet Tea. That's the good stuff. So anyway, that's kind of it. Again, November 22nd. Block the date now. We're 95% sure that'll be the date. We should have that locked up by next week, and then we'll let everybody know. And yes, Patsy will bake pastry. It'll be just chili and rice, man, old style. Probably some corn, maybe, I don't know, tossed salad. I don't know, but I do want to get in front of everybody, and then you guys are gonna get to see. Hopefully, I get to see Uncle Charlie guy's band play, and just have a good old fashioned talk story, and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, once we lock it down, but November 22nd, if you can lock that date down now, I appreciate it. And then again, the meet and greets. I cannot tell you how important those meet and greets. We've always done. We used to call, like I said, we used to call it town halls. That we just did a talk story because we didn't do the coffee anymore. But I learned so much at those little meet and greets. Nalo, aloha ahi ahi. What's up, Nalo? Stacy, Nalo and Stacy? Not sure. But yeah, aloha. Thanks for joining in. Again, I apologize. It's a Friday night. I mean, there's so much more things you can be doing on a Friday night than tuning into the Coconut Wireless. But I wanted to get on tonight because we weren't on last week. So, and Uncle Charlie is MIA. He's probably had a Snicker overdose, and he's probably suffering from the Polynesian paralysis right now. But we are C. Tammy, you're supposed to say I'm excited for you running for mayor. And by the way, I like Patsy's baking. That's probably, but yeah, I am too. I'm not even a sweets kind of guy. I'm not even. I'll often taste her baking when it comes out of the oven and when it's still warm and delicious. But I'm not really a sweets guy. So, but from what everybody she just made, she got a maybe Patsy can credit I can't remember who gave her a recipe for this banana mochi. So she made a pan the other day, and I took it to work, and it was a hit. Banana mochi, which was Patsy. If you can put in the person that gave you that recipe, to give them credit, because it was mochi. Some mochi is sweet, some is heavy. This one was perfect texture, perfect sweetness. You could taste the banana, and it was really, really delicious. So I know Patsy's watching, so I'm trying to get her to. Can't remember who she said gave her the recipe. Oh, here we go. Charmaine Broyard Moises shared the recipe, and she's a villager. Charmaine is on the show. I'm not sure if she's on tonight, but she gave Patsy the recipe, and that thing is fantastic. So we'll probably have that I don't know. I got to ask the boss, but hopefully, if I put in a request now, maybe she can get prepared and have that at the fundraiser. Um, I'm waiting for her to comment. I think she'll do it. But she does an awesome chichi dongo or chichi mochi, whatever it's called. Her little squares. She does mango squares. She does pineapple squares. She does apple squares. Her crust is insane. That is to me is a. I think her desserts are the best. I think she should retire and open up a bakery and just do pastries, and I think we'd be rich. But she's not ready to retire, so. But yeah, Tammy, we'll have that. We'll have her baking at the fundraiser. And there she is. Anything for you. I'm not sure if that's me or Tammy Pu'u. I'm hoping that is for me because there's the red heart. So, but yeah, she'll make whatever you guys want. But yeah, the banana mochi is a killer. Charmaine, thank you for that recipe, and we'll make sure we have that at the fundraiser and our meet and greets. Now I'm loading them up now because she said anything for you. So we'll do it at the at the meet and greets as well, along with some coffee if you guys want coffee. All right, let's see. Heidi, aloha ahi ahi as well. Oh, everybody jumping on late. I think nobody really knew. I posted the promo thing up the post, but again, no, we don't normally do it on Fridays, so appreciate you guys jumping on. Not sure what's on TV tonight. I was watching WWE SmackDown, but I recorded it so I can go watch the finish after the show because I'm a wrestling fan. I'm a huge wrestling fan. And there's a lot of closet wrestling fans out there, especially men, older men that are ashamed to say that they watch professional wrestling. I'm not ashamed to say I love professional wrestling and I love football, but I just enjoy the storylines. I enjoy the creativity. I enjoy the action. And, some people think it's fake, but that's up to you. They are all athletes, and it's actually entertainment for me, and that's my stress relief. Better than drinking. Better than drinking. Better than going out in a bar and getting drunk, right? Randy Savage. Yeah, we got to do a wrestling show, I think. I think we got to do a wrestling show. We had a couple guys from Kauai, the Atkinson brothers from Kapa'a High School. They are wrestling right now in the AEW, doing extremely well. I believe they're the champions right now. They live in Texas now, but they are here from Kauai. Their dad is a Hall of Famer. Not sure if you remember Kevin Von Erich. Well, his real name is Kevin Atkinson, and he was living, still has his property on Kauai, but they went to the mainland to do some business, wrestling business. The dad had a documentary. It was part of a documentary that he needed to go to Texas. So, but they still consider themselves Hawaii residents and great friends of mine. So I think we'll have them come on the show. Used to watch in the old days with my dad, Hawaii style. Yeah, I mean, I grew up. My grandpa was the president of the Lihui Canoe Club down Huleia. And Sammy Steamboat Mokuwahi was the president of Hui Nalu Canoe Club out there in Kaneohe. And they were really, really good friends. Now, everybody knows, most of you hopefully know that Sammy Steamboat was a professional wrestler in the Hawaiian circuit, but they went all over the country. But he was here, he was based here, along with a bunch of others. So when they would come to Kauai to wrestle at the old Kapa High School gym, it was our family that went to go pick them up at the airport. It was we would go pick them up at the airport. All of the family members would take cars and we would go to the old airport, pick them up, take them up to the high school, the good guys and the bad guys, and then they would do the show. And I would sit next to my grandma, and she would be yelling and swearing at them and flying her slipper, and she really, 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 really thought it was real, and it was fun, and but we knew every single one of them. My sister was in heaven because a lot of these guys were hunks, muscle bound, macho dudes. She was a young girl, but She was excited. And after the wrestling was done, I mean, we had Russ Francis, Ed Francis, Bill Francis, Rick Martel, Johnny Baran, Lord Tallyho Blairs, all of these guys. But anyway, after the wrestling, we would all go to Hamura Saimin. And I always wondered back then how these guys all hate each other. They fight each other because I was a little boy. But then they all ate Saimin before they went back to the airport. So I grew up understanding that it was entertainment before it was okay for those guys to say it was entertainment. Now it's entertainment. And in fact, Netflix has a series that really talks about the wrestling industry and how big of a production it is. And if you haven't seen that, you got I can't remember what the can't remember what the name of that show. You'll see it if you go to Netflix. And it's a series. I think there's 5 episodes, but it just they're not hiding the fact that it's scripted, that it's a production, that it is entertainment and not real. They're not hiding that anymore. So, but when you see how it's done, and you can really appreciate not only the athleticism but also the ability of these people to carry the storyline to a point where these fans, their emotions are out of control. When you look at, if you watch these things, if you haven't watched it, go to watch one of these WWE shows on TV, WWE Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown, and watch the crowd. These are mature, older men and women that are yelling and screaming and enjoying the show, and it's good. It's good, and it's still relatively family friendly. In fact, the WWE is completely family suitable for the whole family. There's no cussing, no blood. They have no blood. So it's actually really family entertainment. And I don't know what the heck I'm talking about wrestling here on the Coconut Wireless. But anyway, yes, that is one of my hobbies, watching that stuff. And when they used to come to Hawaii every year and go to the Blaisdell, and I every year I went front row. Me and my friend that who no longer lives here, he's now living in Vegas. But yes, we front row, and we would taunt the wrestlers, challenge them to a fight. This is like recently, we didn't pre-pandemic, but real close to the pandemic. And in fact, I was acting so crazy at one of these things that when I came home, somebody that was at the show said, "Mel, bro, I saw one guy at Blaisdell last week had looked just like you, man. He was going off." I said, "Yeah, I get a lot of guys that look like me." But no, it was me. It was me because I enjoy it, man. Off topic, but Ray's Cafe still has prime rib, just under $28 a plate. If you want lobster tail or crab legs and prime rib, when they have it, when it's almost $70 a plate. Ooh, man, $28. I guess that's cheap now. Okay, I think that's the going rate. But I remember when Ray's was $12 and had the best prime rib I've ever had. Let me pull it up again. I want to read that one more time. When they have it, it's 70. So if you add a lobster tail or crab legs and the prime rib, or lobster or crab and prime rib, it's $70. Yeah, I think if I'm gonna pay $70, I want to sit in a nice, comfortable restaurant with overlooking the water. Patsy and our anniversary was on the 9th of September. 36 years. We went to Timbers and we ate, and it was a great experience. The ambiance at that place is really nice. It was a little pricey, but it was worth it. The food was delicious. They gave me a free little birthday cake with a candle, a birthday dessert. They also gave us for my birthday, they gave me a little tray of pot stickers, they call it. Pot stickers. Well, we call it wonton, but pot stickers, but it was delicious. So yeah, if you haven't been up to Timbers, they have a great menu. I had the fish, it was delicious. But yeah, it was good. It was good. So I am really hungry right now for Ray's Cafe prime rib. Darn. I would pay $28 for their prime rib. I would. I don't think I'd pay 70 though for a lobster tail or crab. Yeah. What's you guys' favorite where is your favorite prime rib? Wherever you live, whether you're on Kauai. I'm curious. Bullshit is closed now. Bullshit is closed for renovations. This is going to be a long renovation. I like Duke's. I mean, Duke's prime rib is decent. It's a decent prime rib. But what's your favorite prime rib? What restaurant has your favorite? Again, Ray's to me was the best prime rib I've ever had. Smiley's has a really good prime rib here on Kauai, down by Ace Hardware. They got a really great prime rib. Bullshit is, like I said, they're closed for a little bit. But what's your favorite prime rib? What restaurant should I go to either in Kauai or Honolulu or anywhere in Hawaii that has your favorite prime rib? That is because I am a prime rib connoisseur. Patsy will tell you that when we go to a restaurant and I ordered a prime rib, she just waits for me to take the first bite because that is going to determine whether or not it's going to be a good night or not. Oh, I forgot Wranglers. I forgot Wranglers. That's right. Wranglers has a doggone good prime rib too. Thank you, Tammy. Wranglers, Wranglers. Yes, we don't get to West Side often. We don't get to Waimea enough, I should say. But we gotta definitely make a date. Haleiwa Joe's. Never been there in Kaneohe. My auntie lives in Kaneohe, actually in Aikahi area, but the Kalaheo side. But yeah, I think we'll go check that out the next time we're out in Kaneohe. Haleiwa Joe's, Wranglers. Where else, guys? Where else? We got a little more than two of you on this call. Where else? So we got Ray's Cafe, Wranglers, Haleiwa Joe's. Where else? Patsy, where's your favorite filet mignon? Or Patsy usually has pasta. She likes her pasta, whether it's a shrimp pasta or chicken pasta. She's not really a meat eater, but we got to try Wranglers for sure. Harvest Festival is coming up if you're on Kauai, folks. Harvest Festival out there. It's going to be in Hanapepe this year, and I'm looking at my calendar. And it's the Harvest Festival is on the 18th of October, and that is an amazing event out there, and it's usually in Waimea Canyon Park, but this year it's in Hanapepe at the stadium. So if you guys are there, go check it out. Oh, Patsy says Nikki's Traeger in Texas. Yeah, they have a Traeger grill. I'm not sure if you guys know what a Traeger grill is, but it's a pellet grill. You put the pellets in, and then it's a smoker really, and it takes forever. But that you're right, that is good. That sticks. We had a Wagyu. Patsy won. She gambled up in Texas, and she won sports betting. She bet on some teams that my daughter's boyfriend helped her pick, so she won some money. So we went all out. We bought Wagyu tomahawks for about $250 a piece. Put it in Traeger, and that was amazing. Oh, Pops is on. Aloha, Dad. Thank you for joining, man. You're back in Washington State. It is well, what, almost 11 o'clock there. Thanks for jumping on. Not sure if you get prime rib, but what about Texas de Brazil on Oahu? I think they do they're like fogo de chao, so you get. I think they have ribeye. They have ribeye. I've never been to the Texas de Brazil, but I have been to fogo de chao, and the ribeye is good, and that's about it. Little Joe's on Nimitz Highway. Where is Little Joe's? Is it closer to the airport? Never heard of Little Joe's, but I will definitely. I go to Honolulu. I won't say a lot, but frequently, and it's typically we go to Honolulu. Patsy and I will go to Zippy's because we love Zippy's. We oftentimes will just hang out in a room and do a Uber Eats or one of those delivery services. But yeah, Zippy's. I just cannot get over Zip. I love Zippy's. I love Zippy's. Their zip packs are great. Their oxtail soup is. Um, oh, my dad is coming on October 11th. Nice. Oh man. Oh yeah, my niece is getting married. My niece is getting married, and she is getting married actually on. Sorry, I gotta look away for a little bit. She's getting married on the. You're coming on the 11th, and the wedding is on the 11th. You know, a lot of people. This is a little known secret of Mel Raposo. Um, Hold on here. Richie Ogata made the best prime rib. Not sure if he still makes it at his trailer, but that is amazing. Oh, I haven't tried his. I know Richie, he can cook. That much I know. I don't think I've ever had his prime rib, but and Kauai has the best lilikoi chiffon pies. Wong's Restaurant, lilikoi chiffon. I think that's what they're known for, and their roast pork. Oof, yum yum. Uh, yum yum. Yeah, so I'm gonna end with this story because I'm again little known secret of Mel Raposo. So a lot of you guys know I'm involved with Pop Warner. I've been involved with Pop Warner for 30 plus years and coached a lot of kids, and including my son. But a few years ago, one of the kids that I coached, who happened to be a good family friend as well, came up and said, "Coach, I'm gonna get married next year." I said, "Awesome." He lives in Oregon. He went to school in Oregon and he lives there. And he said, "Uncle, I want a coach." He said, "Coach, I want you to marry us." I said, "Bro, it's like I cannot marry people. You gotta have a license." "I don't have a license." He goes, "Aren't you?" He says, "Aren't you a notary?" "Yes, I'm a notary, but notaries can't wed people. They cannot marry people." "Oh, well, we want you to marry us." And I said, I mean, that's like the ultimate honor. Eulogies and weddings, I would guess. I mean, when you get asked to do a eulogy, that's for me, it's the highest honor because out of all the people that family wanted to talk about their loved one, so I've done a few. It's hard for me to do because I'm an emotional guy. So this kid asked me if I can marry him. So I kind of laughed it off. And then when I ran into him the next time, we actually was at the airport passing. I was either leaving and he was coming back home for a visit or vice versa. And he asks me again. And I said, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" And he says, "Yes." I said, "Did you talk to your parents? Is your parents and your future in-laws okay with me doing the wedding?" And he said, "Yes, coach, we want you to do it." So I was super honored. I was just touched. And I was at the airport flying out. He was on the second time. He was coming home, and we just happened to cross at the airport. So I was flying with Kipukai Koli, Vice Chair Kipukai Koli. We were heading to the mainland. And as we were waiting for our plane, I went on my phone and I searched how to get a marriage license in Hawaii. And the link came up. I filled out the blanks, submitted my payment information, and before we took off, I was licensed to marry people in Hawaii. So I have a license. I did his wedding, and it was so fun, because no one knew. No one knew. And I showed up, and everybody assumed I was going to be the MC. And I went up there, and I welcomed everybody to sit down. This was up at Iliahi, beautiful setting. And people are all watching. And I said, we're waiting for the reverend. We're waiting for the pastor, blah, blah, blah. And then I just come out. I said, "Well, we just got word that the pastor has COVID. So I'm going to have to marry this young couple. So if you guys can come up." And we went through the ceremony. It was awesome. They came up. He took out 3 Fireball shots, the little bottles of Fireball whiskey or liquor, whatever it is. He had it in his socks. He took it out. He said, "We all got to take a shot before I marry them." And we did. And then I proceeded with the wedding vows, and I was just so touched and honored and flattered, and that was it. That was it. One wedding license, one wedding under the belt, and then my niece, my older brother Gerald's daughter Melissa, is getting married on the 11th of October, and they asked me last year that they wanted me to marry them as well. So I renewed my license, and I will do my second wedding on October 11th on the west side at the beach. What is it called? The boat yard, boat club, boat something, boathouse, the boathouse. And I'm gonna have my second wedding under my belt. So if any of you want to get married, let me know. I don't charge. I don't charge. It's like an honor though, but it's just funny, you know. If you had, if 30, 40 years ago, Mel, you think you would ever be in politics? Hell no. No, you think you would ever be running for mayor? Hell no. You think you would ever get your license to marry people? Hell no. But that's just how my life has become, and I'm stoked. Um, Jackie, when you get married, let me know if you want to renew your vows. Patsy, can I marry us? I don't know if that's legal, but we can definitely go through the motions. What the hell? Yeah, let's do that. So anyway, guys, appreciate you guys. It's always fun to be around you guys. Yes, renew. I can do that. I can do that. I can. I get my license, man. I want to use it. You know, I paid for it. Let's go get it done, man. Tell me when. Tell me where. And the shots are not required. That was crazy. Mel, do you think you'll ever win $10 million? Hell no. Hell no. Oh, if I got $10 million, man, I would bless a lot of people. That drug treatment center would be open. That's where my first money would go. That's where my first money would go. That doors would be open. But anyway, folks, again, thank you guys. Appreciate all the support for the campaign. Spread the word. Please spread the word. November 22nd, mark it in your calendar. My dad, if I decide to get married, I have you marry. That would be the ultimate honor for me to marry my dad, or yeah, perform the ceremony for my dad and his new wife. I would, my God, I probably wouldn't be able to do it without bawling and crying. So, yeah, November 22nd, chili rice. Mark down the date, and then if you guys want to help out, guys, I don't. It just really, 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 any amount, any amount will help. We gotta build a war chest. We gotta get the word out. That's what's going to win this election. And with your help, I know we will do it. So, folks, again, thank you for joining us on a Friday night. Next week Thursday is open. We're gonna shoot for Thursday. Watch out for the promo slide. We'll see you guys next time. God bless. Take care. I love you guys.